Okay. About the application of prevention of rusting. Now, the frame and gear system of a bicycle made up of steel. Steel actually is a kind of alloy making use of iron. Steel in Chinese 鋼啊，鋼 actually is a kind of alloy make up with iron together with carbon， 碳同埋鐵咧撈埋一齊，組成咗一個新嘅物料，呢樣嘢就叫鋼啦。So if it is another type of alloy, I'll let you know more. Stainless steel. Stainless steel means 不鏽鋼。不鏽鋼 have another two elements inside, should be a nickel and chromium. Okay, if it is a stainless steel. So, what combination, okay, can be used to prevent from rusting? Frame, 車架 gear system, 嗰啲鏈啊、齒輪啊咁樣。So in fact, quite easy. It's a common sense question. For movable parts of the iron objects, we should not use painting, right? Because the movable parts, okay, will damage or will scratch the paintings. So that means no painting for gear system. And these two, galvanizing and greasing. What should be used? Should be greasing for movable objects. Because two functions. The first one, prevent the object from rusting. The second function I mentioned before, for lubrication. Okay, so that means either this one or this one. And for frame, of course, we should use painting. Okay, not tin painting. Tin painting is actually coat a metal layer of tin. Okay, however, it is high cost. Okay, and also not real one. Okay. 我哋通常又有嘅 ，OK， 好少天拼停。嗰個咩咩 greasing 哦 galvanizing that means make some zinc metal on it. I mentioned on the multiple choice question before. So this one quite difficult. So now we have XYZ the test tubes with 3 iron nails inside, and now we place different contents of solutions in the test tube. So which represent the ascending order of rate of rusting. That means for the right hand side, rust most quickly. So again, you learned it before about displacement reaction. If we place the iron nail into the solution with metal iron, less reactive than iron. Of course, it will rust faster because displacement reaction happens. Okay, so what that means, X, this one, this metal iron, much less reactive than iron. So that means here we have iron react with silver iron with displacement to form iron 2 and regenerate silver metal. That means this one will react most. Okay, that means these two will be called correct answers. However, Y is more reactive than Z, or Z is more reactive than Y. What do you think? You cannot compare simply by displacement. Why? Don't try to have misconception like this. You may find that zinc is more reactive than iron, so zinc will prevent iron from rusting. Is it like this? No, because this is zinc iron. Will zinc iron react with iron? Sorry, should not have this one here. Will form zinc metal and iron 2? Will it happen? No, never, because zinc is more reactive than iron. So that iron will not displace from zinc iron. If no such reaction take place, what do you think? Which one is more are easier to have rusting. But the ions here will make the rusting faster. So that means the correct answer should be XYZ, should be this one. Okay? So please go to page, I can't get the page number, okay, should be page 10, and this exercise. Sorry. Ready? Forget it, okay? So, corrosion of iron, okay, result formation of rust. So what is the chemical nature of rust? So chemical nature, please write down this one. Iron 3 oxide with N water. Okay, this is the chemical nature of rust. Remember this one. And say the essential conditions, quite easy, right? You should have oxygen and water. In fact, you can use the chemical formula because the question word is not named. If the question changed to name the essential conditions of the rusting of iron, you should say oxygen and water. However, it's not using the question word name, so you simply use O2 and H2O. And for each of the following iron objects, okay, choose suggest a suitable method to protect gear wheel by greasing, or you have some grease on it. Underground water pipe, what will be the method? What's that? So sacrificial protection should be something like this one. Okay. So how about D? Explain why connecting the car body, okay, with a negative terminal of the battery, okay, can help protect a body. So this is the about answering technique. Now, of course, now you don't know what is meant by oxidation. I just simply write down it prevents the reaction of iron to iron 2 plus charged iron. If later you know more words, you can say it prevents the oxidation. You may use this one. Of iron to iron 2 iron. That means later on you can change this word reaction into oxidation, because actually the marking scheme for this action for this answer, you should use oxidation rather than reaction. But of course now you don't know what is meant by oxidation, right? In Chinese, of course, you know 氧化, but what that means you don't know, right? So now I give you the answer. The reaction prevent it change to change from iron to iron. However, for later on, okay, the correct answer should use oxidation. So again, about the content, what we learned in this lesson. Now, aluminium is high position in what we call electrochemical series. You don't know this word, you just treat it as reactivity series now. Okay? Provide an explanation for this phenomenon. What phenomenon is we find that aluminum oxide is more protective than iron oxide. The explanation is actually I mentioned before. For the students who study biology, it's much better because we need to use this word. Aluminium oxide is impermeable to oxygen and water. Impermeable that means 不穿透。咁你頭先我講過啦 ，explain 咗，如果你嗰個鋁咧面嗰陣有陣oxide 咧，咁佢就避免佢穿過啦。其實我已經盡量練習寫支筆啲字啦。停佢先。Okay, suggest a method to enhance the corrosion resistance of aluminium. Quite easy. Remember this word, anodization. Just like I mentioned, okay, later you will study about electrolysis. And in this section, I will let you know more about anodization. Not now. It's rather abstract theory for you. So, quite easy. If the structural question with rusting or corrosion of metal, right? Simply remember something from your textbook, from your notes, and then you answer just the contents. Okay? Not much chemical knowledge about. Okay, now we have another example. So, now we have 4 iron-made objects, okay, with a rust indicator gel. Okay, we try to complete the following table by writing the observation, asking you 2 things. Okay, the first one, the observation, and the second, relevant explanation about each cases. So now I will give you some time to have your idea, but I want to show you by means of diagrams, let you know much easier about what the question is asking. So the first case is an iron-made object fully painted with zinc. What that means? That means the iron object is here. Now we have a layer of zinc totally covered by the iron object. Second one, iron-made object fully painted with tin. Similar to the first case, this is iron. However, this layer is tin. The symbol for tin is a capital letter S and small letter N. The third one, fully painted with zinc, but part of zinc is scratched and exposed to iron. What that means? Again, now we have the iron object here, and we have the zinc here. However, a part of zinc is scratched. And here, the oxygen and water can go inside. The last case, iron-made object fully painted with tin, however, scratched some part. Just like the third case, however, now we have the tin here, and part of the tin is scratched. Again, oxygen and water can go pass through it. So I think I've give you some time to discuss